I wanted to grow the snowmobile industry, but I'm just one rider with a camera, no budget, and in an industry that's aging and shrinking. Until I realized that I am actually getting some affirmation that what I'm doing now is actually making a change. What I plan to go over in this video is how I'm actually single-handedly growing. Did I spell that right? LOL. In this video, I'm going to chat about how I am single-handedly growing the snowmobile industry. Forgot a G there. Views, substance or education, teaching, specifically in racing, next generation, and the value that I'm providing. So product awareness, saving, and time. Right out of the gate, I will tell you, I feel like I am not doing enough. I feel like I'm not doing the right things. It's this imposter syndrome. I see what other content creators are doing in other industries, and they're absolutely crushing it themselves, both financially and with how big their audience is. But I have to start somewhere. I have to be patient, and I need to realize that these 5 areas I'm actually focusing in them. Take a step back and know that I am doing something, and something is good. Views, I'm generating millions of views. Not over the summer, sadly, when I'm filming this, but usually I am getting around 35 million views during the winter months, which is November to April. In like a full year, I could do, probably 40 million views. I have a lifetime, since I started, lifetime views of 75 million views. Why this is so important is you need to get eyes on the sport. The more eyes that you have on the sport, the more awareness there is, and the more awareness that exists, your sport just exists. Everyone's on social media. Look at your screen time on your iPhone if you have one, and you've probably spent way more than you would like on social media. And if I'm creating enough content that's getting in front of enough eyes, 70 million eyes, then snowmobiling is getting on the map. And I find that when I get people commenting on my content that seems very out of place, that's an audience person that's not actually part of the industry, you could say. Facebook does a really cool thing where if you run ads and you're building out ad sets, it'll give you the option to choose, like, target an audience based on interest. And if you choose snowmobile, it's a 200 million, there's 200 million accounts that are interested in snowmobiling. And then if you even add motorcycles to that, it's like for both, people interested in both, it's like 40 to 70 million accounts, people. So the potential audience is massive, and we need to get more eyes on this sport. Quality is huge. And I've been leaning closer to actual substance, doing, copying viral trends, like jumping on that train, something like a sound or you can think of a trend. There's probably something going on right now. It definitely helps. Big marketing agencies really lean on those to, marketing is marketing. Clipping is also popular too, where you take other people's content that's doing really well and you kind of cut it in with your own content. Not very original, but the social media space allows for it, and it gets tons and tons of views, and advertisers love it. So they'll pay for, that style of advertising. I haven't really been finding much value in it. I did it. The memes of photos, trying to be funny, or jump on those viral trends with music. It's a ton of work chasing that, and it's very, very quick. It's a very quick cycle. I always feel like I'm on the tail end of it, which you're really not on the tail end of anything. If you see a trend, just go and post, try it. I encourage people to go through the same steps that I took of following those trends and trying to make like a snowmobile version of it, to be specific, because it helps you get really good at making content. And then what you can do is you can take that skill set and put it into more substance. And that's honestly what I did. I found one example in particular is car edits. So like the cool speed motion, ultra 4K shots of cars with music, and they kind of sweep and they almost just look photorealistic. It's crazy how cool they are. I tried doing that with snowmobiles. I learned how to do that, what's called speed ramping. With my phone, I would just like video the sled in certain ways, and I did a lot of research on it, and I made some content that did very well. For brands, especially I did one for Articat one time. But then I got good at filming content and being consistent, and now I'm doing more talking and trying to share what knowledge I have, because I know enough to be dangerous, and I would like to reduce the amount of time. We'll just jump right to the value here. Reduce the amount of time someone has to spend trying to have fun in the industry, save money, so not, if they have a specific case scenario that my information really aligns with them, like you are a cross-country snowmobile racer, or you're an aggressive trail rider, the stuff that I talk about is super applicable to you. So if you were to just copy and paste what I'm saying, it's gonna save you a lot of time and money. And then product awareness. So like snowmobiling, everything is about product and sales, specifically in snowmobiling, where we need to have these always have high-tech sleds and the best of the best product. It's kind of one of the pitfalls of the snowmobile industry, but I'll save that for another video. But having good product that allows you to enjoy the sport more, you can ride more, travel less, or spend less time working on sleds, that provides a ton of value to the viewer. I am doing that. I've had many people reach out and message me, and they're like, thank you so much for telling me what carbide I should get. I got it, went out, rode, sled was completely different. Or I made this suspension change that your video recommended, and I went out, did it, sled handles like a dream. Like I didn't have to go and buy all of this other stuff and figure out the hard way that it might not have been the right move. Teaching, I've been really enjoying this. I tested out and partnered with Cardo Systems, which is the communication devices, the PackTalk Edge, PackTalk ORV specifically for the power sports industry. Been able to communicate with young riders and work with them on developing their skills, specifically in cross-country racing. I've worked with not just the next generation, with other riders, such as my wife out on the trail, and I've really enjoyed teaching. I think that's a part of the snowmobile industry and part of the market that is kind of untouched, and I believe that the more time that's spent in refining education in riding and product awareness and setup is going to benefit the industry greatly. And I'm heading in that direction. I'm trying to teach. I never feel like I'm doing enough. The Moto Academy, AJ Canizaro, he is like the shining example of what I would like what I would like to have happen in the snowmobile industry. I'm really hoping I can be a part of that and be the catalyst for, pun intended, for some type of snowmobile academy to come to fruition. And the next generation is huge. Like what I said at the beginning of this video, it's a shrinking but also aging industry. It seems only 45 and older are able to afford the sport, and then either the families that have been in it and have the ability to support their own family in riding are the ones who can enjoy it. If someone sees a video of snowmobiling and then they look at prices of them, they're not going to buy a snowmobile. You go online, you find one that's $20,000. Like, that's massive. They'd rather save for a house or something. If we can create this stigma around the snowmobile industry that the sport is so worth it, and then once you're in it, you're in it. Teach the proper ways to, set up your sled and go out and ride safely and actually enjoy it and not ever have an instance where you're having a bad time that ruins the sport for you. That's what I want. I feel like I'm scratching the surface. Jump into the comments. Give me your thoughts on this stuff. What really spoke out to you or stood out to you that I said. Pick one of these that you really agree with. That's actually what I'm going to task you with, is in the comments section, which one of these do you think is probably the most important? That'll help give me some good direction on what to focus on. I'll be honest with you. I think this is going to be, and not just in racing, but I think the teaching is just going to be the biggest part. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you want to see more videos like this, check it out in the playlist here. And if you want to see my more recent video, check it out right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.